Every Tuesday on the Happy Families podcast, we answer your tricky questions. And today we've got a good problem to have from a mum in Victoria who's trying to work out the best time to have a gap year with the kids. Well, not a gap year, but pull the kids out. Like, how good would that be? Pull the kids out, go travel. And
we have talked about this so many times.
We've always wanted to do it. And we've never done it for
Wouldn't it be nice?
For a whole bunch of very, very good reasons. But wouldn't that be such a great thing to do? So if you've got a tricky question, by the way, we'd love to hear from you. After the break, we're going to unpack this question and work out the best time to take the kids out of school so that you can show them the sights of the country, the world, and everything that's in it without impacting their potential, without impacting their schooling and their friendships too much. Stay with us. That's next. We love so much that you've joined us on the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. Today, what do you do when you've got the option to travel and you're just not quite sure when you should do it, because it feels like every year matters for the kids? We are Justin and Kylie Coulson. We're the parents of 6 kids. Haven't added the total number of years that they've all been alive for, but we've been parenting for nearly 30 years. Gosh, that makes us sound old.
We are.
Thanks. So if you have every Tuesday on the pod, we answer your tricky questions. If you've got a tricky question you'd like to ask us, it can be about anything at all. We'll chuck it in there. We love to talk about all sorts of things related to families and relationships or well-being, or just anything to do with how you run your home, basically. Submit your tricky questions via voice note. Just send us an email, podcast@happyfamilies.com.au with that voice note attached. Or alternatively, go to happyfamilies.com.au, scroll down to podcasts, click the record button, and start talking, just like Ella from Victoria, who sent us this.
Hi, Justin and Kylie. My name's Ella from Victoria. I was wondering, if we're lucky enough financially, we're considering spending 6 to 12 months travelling abroad as a family, either learning via correspondence or maybe visiting some alternative international schools. The question is when. Year 9 is notoriously a difficult year, particularly for girls, with peak mean girl activity. What are your thoughts about taking our daughter out of the traditional learning environment for all or part of this year? Would I be sparing her the unnecessary heartache and bullying, or depriving her of the opportunity to build resilience and the life skills of dealing with difficult people? Our son would be in grade 4 at the time. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
All right, Kylie, so I asked you what you thought when we listened to this earlier. You said, I'm not sharing my ideas with you because you steal my ideas. Like I don't have a PhD in psychology and some ideas of my own. I'm going to steal all of yours. Therefore, Mrs. Happy Families.
I can't believe you told everyone that.
Ella is going to get your advice first before I say a thing, because I don't want to steal any of your great ideas to help Ella.
I'm just going to say yes, yes, yes.
Right.
When we have an opportunity to give our children experiences that enlarge their lives, yes, do it. Do it.
Okay. Anything else? What about the resilience thing? Anything about grade 9? Do you want to talk about the grade 4 son? Where they should go? Do you want to jump in and start giving some travel advice?
No. I think that it's really important that families take into account their own personal situation and the type of child they have. Some kids love consistency and really need structure to kind of manage their day-to-day lives. And other kids are really happy to try new things and go and explore and stretch themselves. So it's not a blanket answer. But I think that as far as resilience goes, putting your kids into a new environment, regardless of where you are, is creating opportunities for resilience. Taking them out of what would be notoriously known as one of the trickiest years, especially for girls, having gone through that process nearly 6 times.
Yeah, we're right in the thick of it again.
Having actually made that decision with child number 5 to pull her out was life-altering for her. So, yes, just yes.
Okay, that was easy. So glad you shared all of your ideas.
You're so bad.
Thank you.
You want me to ask you what you would say?
Well, that would be the appropriate thing to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
What would you like to share?
I'll tell you after the break. Stay with us. We're back. This is the Happy Families podcast, answering your tricky questions. Well, answering Ella's from Victoria's tricky question. Do you take the kids out of school? What grade is the right grade? Is it going to affect their resilience? Kylie, let me just add some colour and some flavour to the things that you said, and feel free to push back or react to anything that I say. First thing that I'll say is, Ella, this is a great problem to have. Like, this is the best problem that you can have. Half your luck. I hope that you get to do it. That's the first thing. Kylie, you made the point and echoed Ella's suggestion that grade 9 is sort of peak time for mean girl bullying sort of thing. The research doesn't actually bear that out. Year 4 is actually peak time for bullying. There's more bullying that happens in grade 4, grade 5 than what happens in grade 9. The circumstances around the grade 9 bullying can be pretty harmful though. And I do have a saying that I've been using for about the last 15 years, and that is that if you can get through year 9, you can get through anything at all.
Which goes against the research you've just shared. I'm just pointing that out.
I think that there's greater concern around the social impact of it later. So there's more of it in the earlier years, but kids are certainly affected by it in those primary years, but they're affected by it differently. It feels like it's more pervasive. It feels like it's more identity crushing and soul destroying in later years.
Now with the addition of social media.
Well, not available in grade 9 because you've got to be over 16, which means that because of the federal government's wonderful new minimum age social media legislation, under 16s can't be on it. Grade 9, what's that, 14, 15? They're safe.
If only.
Could you hear the, I didn't mean to sound quite so snide when I said it, so cynical. Yes, you're right. The social media aspect is certainly challenging. So a couple of things that I want to highlight. First off, social connections can be really tricky at this age. But even for your grade 4 son, like Kylie, we've moved interstate and we had a daughter who was in grade 9 when we did it. And that was, in a word, I would go so far as to say catastrophic.
But she was really
against the move.
She was really against the move. And that's why I said in the beginning, there's a little bit of nuance here. You have to really kind of, understand the dynamics in your own family.
Yeah, consider your personal circumstances.
Yeah. So she was very much against it and very integrated into her school and the friendships that entailed.
And so that brings me to the second thing that I was going to highlight, and that is that the most important thing around these decisions is that you've got buy-in from the kids. Like, if the kids are all in, then this is, I was going to say it'll be a snap. It probably won't be. There'll still be trying and challenging moments, and reintegration when you come home will also be potentially difficult. But once again, giving them a voice, giving them a say in where are we going to live, what school do you want to go to, and why, how are we going to reestablish our lives once we've had our year from heaven, where we've gone and had all these incredible experiences and created these lifelong memories. That reintegration into Australian society, or wherever it is that you decide to live, is going to be a really big challenge. How do you land the plane after you've had that experience?
So I want to pull you up on that. So as a team, husband and wife, partners, you've decided that this is going to be the best thing for your family, but your 14-year-old decides that she is absolutely adamant this is not going to happen. Right. She's not going to be a part of it. Yeah. So is she supposed to make the decision? Like, does she stop me from going because as a 14-year-old she's having a dummy spit? No,
this is that same thing where we bring the kids along on the journey. We make sure that they understand the rationale, the narrative, the reasons why, and get them to a point where maybe they don't say, oh my goodness, this is going to be life-changing, this is going to be enlarging, this is going to be the best thing we've ever done. But maybe they say, yeah, I get why we're doing it and I'm willing to give it a go. Or I can identify the value in this. So sure, I don't necessarily love it. I'm really nervous about what happens when I come home. And we say, well, let's cross that bridge when you come to it, because we've got 12 months where you don't have to think about that and it's going to be awesome. And that, I mean, the whole conversation is really around resilience, right? That's what started this discussion. And if you want your kids to be resilient, the re-entry is actually where the resilience building happens. It's not pulling them out of school. It's not missing out on the horrible things that could happen at school. It's actually the reintegration. And I go back to the one thing that I say again and again and again on this podcast, and that is that resilience is relational. So kids don't get resilient because we stick them into a pressure cooker and say sink or swim. Kids get resilient because as they endure the everyday hardships and challenges of daily life or school life or traveling life, they have their adversities, their challenges, the trials and difficulties and the randomness of life hitting them. And they get to come back and lean on us and say, this is hard. And we say, yeah, I know. I believe in you. I think there's going to be more resilience building opportunities with the travel than there would be going through grade 9 at school. I really do, especially having to do homeschool or some kind of on-the-road school while you're doing that's got to be hard yakka as well.
Well, you're exposed to different cultures, different foods.
Yeah, life skills sorted, resilience skills sorted. That's what I'm reading there. Just go. You started there. I'm finishing there. Just go. I would just add this: there's no perfect time. Like, there's literally no perfect time to go away, especially for that length of time. There's going to be milestones. There's going to be developmental challenges. There's going to be schooling issues. No matter when you go, the perfect time doesn't exist. So therefore, if it's on your bucket list, if it's something that you can do, my response is just go. That's my last word.
The only other thing I would add is if she has good friends, it's really important that you find ways to support her to continue to maintain those friendships.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how far away you are, you might choose to kind of send her home for a week during a holiday period, or just to allow her to kind of send little packages.
Yeah. Or fly a friend over for a surprise for a birthday or something like that.
Yeah, over the years, as we've done the moves that we've done, we've really strived to encourage our kids to maintain friendships even when they're not side by side.
And when it's not convenient. Yeah.
And that has been, you used it, inconvenient at times. We've driven for hours on end to meet up with the other family at the halfway point so that we could do a swap over for the holiday period. Or we've flown a child out
interstate, like all over the place.
But it has meant so much to them, and their friendships have continued. It's helped them to recognize you don't have to be in each other's space 24/7 to have a good friendship.
Yeah.
And for some of our kids, they have friends from their very youngest, start of school that they've continued to maintain.
Yeah, despite multiple interstate moves from us and from their friends.
And that would be the one thing that I would add. Find ways to support and sustain good friendships, because if you do, those friendships will sustain them.
Ella from Victoria, we really hope that that's a useful answer and that it can guide some of your decision making. If you've got a tricky question you'd like to ask us, we'll answer questions about pretty much anything. Send us a voice note to podcasts at happyfamilies.com.au or jump online to happyfamilies.com.au and you can push the record button, start talking. We have a super simple system to use right there. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. We get admin and additional support supplied by Mim Hammonds. And if you would like more info to make your family happier, you'll find it all at happyfamilies.com.au. And a quick reminder, only 2 weeks to go until the Boys book is out. Boys Building Strong Young Men from the Inside Out. You can pre-order it now at booktopia.com.au and get $10 off. That's a huge saving. I can't even get it that cheap. $10 off at booktopia.com.au if you pre-order now, and then take it to happyfamilies.com.au and put in your receipt number for a whole bunch of freebies.